Hello everybody, it's Weeb here, and today we have something a little different from the normal ASMR stuff. So I'm just gonna be playing Mario Kart, Raging, and story time. So that should be interesting. I've done this once before, and it was much easier than recording a normal video. And I was just kind of tired today, so yeah, this is what you guys get. Let's see. It's a good story. Ah, yes, the story of how I got labeled hamster hands. Okay, so for context, I was in a VC with a friend, and I had decided to tell him a little story because he was making fun of my height, and that's just normal at this point. So we were talking, and I told him a story about how my brother had called my hands small. Let's see, my brother is very tall for his age, and he is roughly about 5'8", 5'9". And yeah, he's just very tall and lengthy. So, and I am the complete opposite. I am 5'3". I know I'm not that short, but compared to everybody else in my family, yeah. And so, one day, I was playing Genshin at the computer, and my brother was playing on the couch right behind me, and I was just minding my own business, killing some hilly trolls, and he looks over and he's like, "Damn, Weep, I never realized how small your hands were." I looked over at him and I said, "What the fuck, dude?" Because he had never really commented on me really, my hands being small, and so I just wasn't used to this. Plus I thought he was focusing on his own game. And so after I told that story, I got labeled hamster hands. I don't know where the hamster part came in, but all I remember from that conversation was being pissed off and denying everything. And he's like, "Alright then, prove it." So what I ended up doing was I took a picture of my hand next to a Nintendo game box. And they're not that big, relatively small. And my hand was just a little centimeter shorter. And that was enough to label me hamster hands. I actually tried to pass it off to someone, but it didn't really work. And I am sad about that. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, I sound like a window wiper when I laugh. I don't know why, it's just how it is. And, so, as I do, this was months ago, by the way, I was in a VC, with a few other people, and I don't know what we were exactly doing, but I do remember that I left for a very, very long time. Roughly about 3:20, I believe. Which I want to say, apparently I beat the world record for longest laugh. Even when they tried to calm me down, nothing worked. I just continued to laugh harder till I passed out. After that, my voice was dead for a few minutes. I never got my normal laugh back. I just sounded like a window wiper ever since. Either that, or sometimes it gets confused with a whining puppy for some reason. I don't know why. I've had this happen to me a few different times, actually. So the first time was in Fauna VA's server when she still allowed minors in there. I was on a VC with a couple other guys. You know, we were just looking at random memes, and I started dying. When I started dying, the guy who was, showing us some memes was, stopped what he was doing. He opens up a new tab and searches whining puppies. Then he scrolls down. And he finds one specifically. And then he's like, wait, is this you? And I'm just like, I start dying even more. Because, I had hardly, I hardly ever thought I sounded like a whining puppy. I thought I sounded more like, a bottle of Windex. So it was interesting. Fucking hell, I keep getting hit with all the shells. Let's see. Oh, yes. Another story. What's something else? So for those of you who know me even a little bit, know that I'm destructive and chaotic as all hell. And it's normal. It's normal for me to be chaotic and want to set everything on fire. We don't question why I set everything on fire, it's just how I am. So, what normally happens is, I get chewed out by Ashen Grey ASMR. Because, he's always trying to keep me out of trouble. So, what normally happens is I tend to get locked in cabinets. And, again, for those of you who know me, I like my cabinets. They are comfy, they are cozy, and I shall stay there. And so, what normally happens is whenever I decide to go in there, he decides to lock it. Which I think is very interesting. You know what, we don't question it. He's not only protecting everybody else, but the general public as well. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just something funny. Ah, yes. There's another little story that I have. Basically, the gist of it. Anyone who's known me for a good amount of time knows that if you are over 5'5", I will try to take your kneecaps at least once. There are a few exceptions, though, and that is if, I find you useful of some sort. And what I mean by that is you'll help me reach the cabinets and you haven't pissed me off at all. For example, Ashen. When I first met the guy, we were just getting along, getting to know each other. And the thing is I had always had kind of a little jar of cookies, just imaginary cookies that I can take whenever I please. He had a tendency to steal them. So obviously what had happened is, I'm just like, alright, dude. Not only are you over 5'5", but you have stolen cookies. 2 offenses in less than a couple of weeks. Okay. Now basically what's happened over there is I've been trying to steal kneecaps. Let's see, oh, I also tried to steal them with Phoenix Eclipses. You know, nice guy, you should go check him out. Probably leave a link in the description below. And Nix has had the exact same thoughts I have, but for longer, because he's known Ashen longer than me. Therefore, tried to take kneecaps longer than I have. And you know, when we met, all hell broke loose for the old man, because not only was one person trying to take his kneecaps, but it was only one at a time. Now he has to deal with us all the time. Because, you know, every now and again, like, we'll just randomly, you know, start talking to each other again every now and again. And start to plan to take his kneecaps. It's great. I love it. It's beautiful. Let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Something else that I tend to do is, you know, since I play Genshin, you know, I obviously know Diluc. I've played the game long enough to come up with a few nicknames for the characters. So if you ever hear me, like, randomly say, oh yeah, that sassy bastard's so fucking annoying, I mean Diluc. I mean, not Diluc, Kaya. Mainly because I know some of you are gonna be Kaya Sims. I do not care. But basically, I feel like everybody will get kind of annoyed because, you know, like, he says 2 lines quite often, and it goes along the lines of, what is it? What's the rush? Or, the other one is really annoying, and I'm just like, every now and again, I call him Sassy Bastard, because he really is. And that's just the nickname. And then we also have Child. I call him Cocky Bastard, because that's honestly just what he is. I call Diluc Arson Boy, because, you know, Pyro. Let's see. I think that's really the only ones I have for those. And if I have more, I'll tell you guys. But the thing is, I don't remember characters that well. And I mean by their names. I am miserable with any and all names. So I usually go off, like, looks, or, like, if you describe something specific, I'll probably know who you're trying to talk to me about. But if you hear me say, like, something random, it is probably because I know who you're talking about, I just don't remember the name, so I just come up with random names. Like, this year, so the thing is, with my school, is they had us do a, what was it, for the online kids at least, do something with an app called Ingenuity. And the thing is, the teachers wouldn't tell us their names, because, you know, it was, like, only there for, like, maybe a couple of lessons, and then, you know, they dip and someone else took over. And so, what I had ended up doing was I came up with names for all of them. And the one that I remember the most accurately was Orange Beard Guy. He was my science teacher for, I think it was, like, physics or something. And the only reason I remember him is because, for those of you who don't know, I like to watch baseball. I've played softball for, like, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And, you know, my family, or the ones that I live with, to be more precise, are huge Dodgers fans. And for any of you who know the Dodgers, Justin Turner, I call him Orange Beard Guy, because that is the only reason I remember him. And, I'm just like, this is the only way I'm gonna remember this guy, so it should be fun. And then we have this one history teacher. She was the only one who, like, ever kind of tried to introduce herself. And I don't remember what it was, but I called her Cool Lady, because, you know, she seemed cool, and she got straight to the point, you know, seemed very confident. And so the thing is, these were recorded years ago, and the thing about these recordings is, whenever it ended, the teachers would kind of just look over to the side, you know, just question why the hell they were even there. And it was funny, and she was the only one who didn't do that. And therefore got the name Cool Lady. I don't remember anyone else's because I do not care. If I had just finished school a couple of days ago by the time I'm recording this, so yeah, set. Oh yeah, another story. So where I live, you know, it's mainly farmland. Once you get a couple of rows of houses back. And lately, for the past few weeks, I've been hearing a lot of racers in the fields. And, so the thing is, Ashen, he has been dealing with racers a lot longer than I have. And so, usually what ended up happening when I had heard them for, like, one of the first nights, I'm just like, Ashen, why did you send the racers over to me? And apparently over where he lives, he hasn't been hearing them as often as he used to. And so, you know, now we're just like trying to negotiate if he should take him back or not. And there is another person that we both know who lives in California, and that is Sound Otaku. Sound Otaku, you know, cool guy, but if you get on his bad side, you're practically screwed. And so what we thought was, why not send the racers over to Otaku? Because we both knew that if we did that, not only would Otaku not have to worry about the racers, but Ashen and I also wouldn't be annoyed at them at, like, really late at night, even when we're trying to record. So it was a perfect plan. We're still trying to execute it to this day. I just heard them last night, actually. I'm still questioning how the hell they even got here in the first place. Because where I live, there's a lot of building going on. There's a new neighborhood going up in every direction besides where the fields are. And yeah, I'm just curious where the hell they're even trying to race. Oh yeah, and see, something else. So, for those of you who know Skate the Infinity, or, you know, have seen some of the clips, you know that the dubbed I swear the creators were drunk when they were translating it. I feel like the subbed is the sober friend who had to take the dub home because they had one too many drinks. And the dub, I know the dub means well, but I swear they made Adam so much worse than he already was. We already know he's the ripoff Hisoka. But I don't know why, but the dub is so much worse. Adam and Hisoka both scare the absolute shit out of me. I don't know how I got through the episodes with Hisoka on Hunter x Hunter. He honestly just creeps me out and scares the absolute shit out of me. Therefore, we do not bring him up in my presence. Let's see, what else? I think after I finish this round, I'll wrap it up. I'm actually surprised I haven't been screaming more. Very interesting. What else to talk about? So, for those of you who know Chag Moistard, you know he is very chaotic. And so, you know, he's been my friend for a while, and, you know, I asked him to do a collab with me, because, you know, we were kind of just, like, a few weeks before, like, yeah, no, we should definitely do that. And I'd never really had him do anything, because I didn't really have anything that required a collab until I started escaping with the Princess series. And, you know, I had Ashen voice, like, you know, the evil monarch. And so I'm like, you know what, fine, we're gonna bring Chag into this, it's gonna be fine. And so one time we were on VC discussing about, you know, what kind of role he would play. I swear to God, the entire time he was contemplating on killing the princess character that I play. And the entire time I had to convince him not to kill me off. That and the listener. So now what we've both agreed on is we're gonna make two kind of different ones. One where he would do kind of like a quote-unquote civilian impression, and then, you know, just like do the actual normal recording. So that should be interesting. At $10 says when he does the non-serious one, he's gonna have so much fucking crack. And I can guarantee you by the end of it, we are both going to be dead. Because, you know, that's just how he is. Now, great guy and all. Hell-bent on killing me, though. And the reason I say that is because he really is. And I find it hilarious. Because we both know how to get under each other's skin. So now we're just competing. And it's hilariously funny. Let's see. Another story. Oh, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, my youngest brother, the one who's not a tree, is very, very extroverted and outgoing. He'll talk to really anyone and everyone when he gets the chance. It's just how he is. Me, on the other hand, am nothing like that. And for those of you who say, "Oh no, you're really quite the extrovert," if you had met me in person, it would have been a completely different story. I am more confident on the internet than I am in real life, mainly because nobody has to see my ugly ass, and it's just the way it is. So, basically, one time I was in BC with a couple of friends, both of which know my real name. The thing is he has a bad habit of exposing me in front of people. And so, the actual reason Chag knows my real name is because he came in and he screamed my real name. He's like, "Weeb!" And before I could mute or say anything, everybody heard it. Everybody fucking heard it. And now, like, 10 people know my name. And, let's see. Yeah. So, you know how little kids tend to, watch a lot of, little kid shows over and over again? Yeah. My brother had come into my room because, he is my brother. That's what he does. And, he was like, "Hey, Weeb, can I play Mario Kart with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure," because I had said to him, like, a couple hours before, like, "Hey, if you come in, yeah, no, I'll teach you how to play Mario Kart." And the thing is, he had his little kitty show on, and I'm like, "But if you're gonna stay in this, you're not watching that. No," because he had watched it so many fucking times before, and so I'm just like, why not? Instead of this, you can watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it's really good, and he hasn't seen the entire thing yet. And I knew it was appropriate for him. I absolutely love the series. I do not mind watching it again. And so I'm just like, "Yeah, why don't you put this on?" He's like, "Okay, alright." Because, he had seen like a couple of episodes, but never really got fully invested in it. Because, he's like a little kid and he has other things to do. And it was great because he let me talk. He was focused on Mario Kart, and we had a show that wouldn't absolutely kill me of cringe. And it was great. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new here, consider, liking, commenting, maybe subscribing. You don't have to if you don't want to. But, yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.